Good morning. Good morning. How we
Good
doing?
morning. I love the different background. I
Thank
love that your studio is very versatile. I think anybody that wants to podcast or live stream, that's the perfect example of utilizing one space and being able to utilize it multiple ways. So I love that. Yay.
Now you got me checking my stuff. I'm like, oh, the angle's not the best. Oh, I got to add this. What about that? No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Um,
everything's perfect. It's supposed to be as it's supposed to be.
well, one of the things that you just had me thinking about, and kind of our theme this past couple days with testing StreamYard and testing this, and taking messy action. Um, Taking messy action gives me energy, actually. A lot of people think, oh, I don't have all the answers, or maybe, I used to not do things until I had every detail, every little thing, resource, read 10 books, like YouTube University, this thing, 80 videos in, deep hole. and 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 then sometimes I wouldn't even do it. Sometimes I wouldn't even take action. And I know we've all been there. I've been there a million times. I'm no different than anybody. But one of the things that I learned was, wow, if I just jump in, I'm actually excited. I'm energized. I feel good. And you have to just expect and know that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to work out. It's not going to flow fluidly every single time, right? Like we get lucky, beginner's luck, big thing. I believe in it. And I believe it's beginner's luck because we're blind to all the issues that can come up. We're blind to all the situations and scenarios that people will think through and just go over a million times in their head. We just do the damn thing, like we were talking about yesterday. And that gives me energy, knowing that there's going to be problems, knowing going into it that it's not perfect, that it is messy. And it allows me to have a different perspective on the situation, and allows me to have gratitude that I did jump and dive 100% in, and I'm ready to roll, ready to go. It used to be stressful for me because I didn't change my perspective on hard things. So I would jump in and then I'd be frustrated or pissed off that it's not perfect. And those two things don't go together. Messy action and jumping in doesn't go with perfection. It doesn't go with immediate success. It doesn't go with ease, right? Like we're trying new things, we're doing new things. We want to live a life of excitement. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be hiccups. You're going to mess things up. And I think ultimately at the end of the day for me, knowing that and understanding that and sitting with that and being okay with that allows me to continue the energy gain and the energy rise as I address and come up to some of those problems and issues when I'm trying something new.
So anybody that's done a presentation or has had to prep something, right? Even with tech, you know this, you can practice it a million times. But unless you detach yourself from the outcome and the fear of what could be, you're not going to be able to get through it, because during the live or whatever it is that you're doing, like things can get messed up. And if your expectation is that it's going to be perfect, then in that moment, how are you going to be able to pivot? How are you going to be able to handle whatever problem comes up? We learn from our mistakes. And honestly, what I have found is like the community and the people around me are very okay with imperfection. Does that make sense? That like, hey, you showed up for yourself and you tried, and now you learn from this and you do better the next time. I used to do that when I would prep radio events. I mean, it would take me months to create these gigantic events for thousands of people, all of our listeners. And I had every, T crossed and I dotted. But on the night of the event, there's always something that it was like, oh my God, how is this happening right now? How is this happening? And
see
my biggest
my nervous tick right there. If you guys study body language, touching the back of my neck means I'm anxious and nervous because of what she just said, because it's so dang true.
You can plan all the things, like stuff happens. And so my biggest issue is that I have to learn to live in the moment. That I've always attached myself to an outcome, like everybody's going to have the best time and all these wonderful things are going to happen. My husband would always say, "Stop expecting what the end result is going to be and live in the moment of the event. You work so hard to be here, just be here now." And so I've always been my worst enemy in that case. And so I want it to like take messy action. It's okay. Like, even if you do plan it for it to be perfect, like there will always be something that throws a wrench into the whole plan. And you know this, I'm sure.
You're spitting fire right now. Ain't nothing but the truth, producer Rachel. You're 100% correct. And it's a mindset shift, you know? I mean, this past conference, if we're on events, right? So this past conference, um, we could go there a couple days before. I went there the day before. We prepped everything. We met with all these people, and the LED screen didn't work at the time of the event was supposed to start, right? And I over prepared. The only thing I didn't have was a backup solution, or I didn't have someone to troubleshoot it. So my videographer, who's a friend, was like working with the venue and helping them and getting it set up. But that also has implications, right? He's not shooting stuff. He's not following me around, grabbing conversations. So you just got to know that at the end of the day, you prepared, you tried, you put all your effort in. And it really just comes down to, are you actually getting the energy gain from all the things you're doing on the day you're supposed to? Or is it just all of it is an energy drain, And if you're setting it up for the outcome and, "Oh, I want to impact people and I'm expecting 30 people to come up to me and say how I changed their life," you may be disappointed. I think the best events I've ever done was just pour it all out there and speak from the heart. And I didn't know what was going to happen. Like I remember having to prime myself for a speaking engagement at one of my events because I'm the first speaker. I'm the, host. I'm the figurehead of the event. I invited everybody, people, coming to see me and the speakers. And I walk in and I'm like, "Event space looks like they had an event here last night. Food everywhere, drinks, open sodas." And I look around and there's some random guy. He's like, "Hey, you need help?" I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm just meeting the contact." He's like, "We fired him at 7 a.m. this morning. I own the company." And I was like, "How do I hook up the TV? Where's this trash? Where's the extra chairs? What about these lights? How's the audio?" Right? And it was just one of those crazy situations where I have no control over that. I don't know if that kid was banging the owner's wife and having an affair and like I don't know what he did, right? And it's really none of my business at the end of the day. I think the first thing I did was like, "Oh, in my mind, what happened? Ooh, like drama. What?" I have no control of it. I don't know anything about this gentleman. He's a friend of a friend. Um, I hope he's okay. At that time, my phone was on the charger and it wasn't charging, right? So the outlet didn't work. So my phone dies, right? And it's just one of those scenarios again where you just got to laugh at it. And I remember having to prime myself in the right headspace because I was so stressed. And to your point, I'm realizing I'm going, "Man, I pulled this event off. It's coming off of a big loss in my business, an investment I made that went sideways. I lost over 100,000. I didn't have money to put this thing together. I made a promise to people. And at the end of the day, I'm sitting in the venue. The speakers are on their way. People are texting me now that my phone's charged. They're excited. And I'm like, I've got to live in the present because I'm so worried about the outcome. But I pulled this thing off. I'm proud of myself in this moment. I did this on no budget, literally no budget. And wow, I'm just reflecting on it now. Like, I'm so grateful that I actually could switch the script and really appreciate it in the moment because it was a disaster. It was a mess.
But that also, there's something about follow through. right? Like you could have easily canceled everything. You could have texted everybody, called all your speakers, and been like, game over, sorry, it's over. But instead, you lived in the moment, you lived in the present, and like you did the what do I know to be true? Okay, what do I know to be true? Here are the things that we have to fix, right? Like, let's get everything in the garbage, let's clean the place up. So I want people to start to think about where you can take action today. Like Jim started the conversation of he was always the person learning, right? We're reading all the things, we're doing all the things, we're taking all the courses, we're doing all the things, but we're not taking action. We're allowing fear or the attachment to some sort of outcome that you have with learning whatever it is that you want to learn, how to do. We're allowing that to stop us from actually doing the thing. And I want you guys to know, like, all of us, everybody who's like at this different level of like teaching and speaking, and probably this is the level you might want to get to. We all got here by doing. Reaching out to people saying, hey, can I speak on your stage? Hey, do you have a spot for me? Hey, can I be on your podcast? That's how you get to that next level. It's very rare that someone's just going to tap you in. Like you have to make a space for yourself. You have to actually be the one to be like, hey, like put me in, coach. Can you talk about that a little bit about in our lives? How do we go from the learning stage to finally taking action? Was it a mindset shift? Was it just stop being scared of said action? Like, how do you help people get today to take action in the thing and stop thinking about it over and over again?
I think there's two scenarios that come into play. Um, no one's coming to save you. Like it really just comes down to it, especially if you're a business owner or entrepreneur. You're not going to get the call that all of a sudden, hey, I saw you post on Facebook, 2 weeks ago needing sponsors, and here's 50,000, and now you can go get buy 2 LED screen. Like that doesn't happen. And the stories that you're listening to, or maybe the stories you've read, or what you've seen on YouTube of that shit happening, it doesn't happen. That's the 0.0001%, or they made that shit up. Straight up. Like it's one of those two things. So, and here's the thing, folks. Like, if you want to plan your life around that magic phone call coming, and you want to have faith, and you believe the creator's got your back, and I do too. I believe he does too, or she does too. But I also believe you got to put in the work to make the magic happen. You got to practice magic tricks in order for magic to occur. It's as simple as that. You got to do the thing. So when I think about no one's coming to save you, it really puts me in the mindset of this is on me. Let me own this, and let me go and figure it out. And I'm not going to be perfect, but I know that I've embarrassed myself multiple times. I know that I've done that. I've switched up words on stage. I've said incorrect things. I've been so nervous when someone zoomed in. Before I had the beard, I get like upper lip sweat, and I'm looking at the screen, and there's just sweat all over my right. Like I've done it all. I've been there. I haven't done it all, but I've been in a lot of situations where I've beat myself up. And what I realize is like, no one's saving me in that moment. Why am I killing myself? Why am I beating myself up? And when I beat myself up, it doesn't give me energy. It doesn't allow me to rise to the occasion. So I think the first thing is to understand that no one's coming to save you. And if you want something, it's your responsibility to go make it happen. And it's not going to be perfect. The other thing is, how much are you willing to embarrass yourself? That's really what I think it comes down to, because you don't know what you're doing. I made a post on Facebook the other day that creativity starts at the moment that you have no idea what you're doing, because you have to get creative. You have to figure it out. And ultimately, what Impact Effect Community is a platform and a source for you to enterprise and figure out and find those resources, right? So Impact Effect is literally the go-to for what I'm talking about right now, because we want to help you. We're a community of people that want to see you succeed. We're a community of folks that is continuously providing education opportunities, co-creation hours, working with you, working alongside you in a place where you belong, right? So at the end of the day, I think that most of us don't know what we're doing. It's just we're confident and okay in the fact that we don't know. And we're willing to just get up and keep trying. And we're okay when it doesn't go well and when we embarrass the shit out of ourselves. And this is Jim Morris at 35 years old telling you this. Jim Morris just got to this point in his life. So what I'm saying isn't going to happen overnight for you, but you got to start making the mindset shifts and you got to start doing the thing. Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing the thing and you don't embarrass yourself, then are you actually learning? Are you actually getting better? Are you actually growing? Because I know for me, when I mess up really bad, I don't mess up that same thing again. I go study it. I go practice it. I get into the community. I ask people about their experience. I'm vulnerable. I'm real. I'm honest. We're having these types of conversations in Impact Effect community, and it's welcomed. It's welcomed. It's a safe place. It is comfortable to talk about my downfalls. It is comfortable to be vulnerable because of the curation and how we set up the community. It's exactly what I wish I had when I started in business 7 years ago. And we want to build that because we know how it feels. We know how it feels to avoid hard things. We know how it feels when you're like, no one's coming to save me and I'm screwed and I don't even know what to do and I'm about to break down and I'm at the kitchen table and I have to put food on the plate for my family and I got to pay the mortgage and I know I need to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it. Who are you going to call? Who are you going to lean on? Because it is someone. It's not something. It's not StreamYard. It's not a tech stack. It's not an app. It's you having a conversation with someone that's been through it that can encourage you, inspire you, and provide resources. So when you are practicing, you're getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer to making that magic happen. And that's what I believe
amazing.
Impact Effect is. And that's what I'm building and what you're building. And check it out. Like go check out the website because I want your feedback. Like read through it. Let us know if this makes sense. Let us know if you feel that landing page right there talks about what I just talked about. Because here's the thing. We're taking messy action too. We're building the thing. We're trying. And we're leveraging friendship, relationship, mentorship, business relationships. So that way we're doing the thing. We're not just talking about it. And you have someone that's going through it alongside you amongst everybody else in the community.
Well, because I also understand that it's hard to tell your peers, right? Like, oh, this isn't perfect, or oh, I need help with this. So our whole goal is to essentially like walk with you side by side, hand in hand, take messy action together, help you learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know so many people now that want to be on stages, that want to start a podcast, that want to do events, that want to do all these things, but they're allowing their limiting beliefs to stop them. Let us help you with that. Right? Like come to the community, explain what's going on. You can be honest and vulnerable and raw. And we've probably been through most of it at this point. So we can either help you see it through, help you change your mindset, or literally sometimes you just need to vent. I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you're like, everything is so pent up, you're not breathing, and you're just like, oh my God, like this is so urgent right now. But a lot of times if you just take that moment and you just vent to somebody, or just type it out in the community, like just word vomit it out of like, this is what's happening to me. I don't know what to do. It kind of gets better. Just shifting that energy into like getting it out. And saying, I'm not okay with this. I think a lot of times we hold so much inside of the fears of whatever's going on, of what to do next. And that's why I love the community that we're building, is because we're allowing people to be raw, honest, vulnerable, and say, you know what, this sucks today. And I don't know who to turn to because all these people are relying on me. And if they know I don't have my shit together, like that's going to change my team, my family. We are the people that you can come to say that to. We are the people that understand. We are the people that have been there. And if anything, we're just the people that are here to listen to you, right? Like, and hype you back up.
It's I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I asked them why they're not vulnerable with me, specifically me. Like, every time it's the highlight reel. Every time we talk, it's the sizzle reel. Every time it's, "Hey, I bought this Porsche and I got these colored leather and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and um I just left and went on this trip and we just bought the kids this," and I'm like, "Dude, what's what's up? Why is it always the highlight reel?" And as we were talking, I realized something. And I realized that what we have built at Impact Effect is so beautiful and happened without this thought, but it actually solves this problem. So here's the thing. Impact Effect community, we don't allow you to sell to each other. Now, if you need a resource, you use our connection concierge and we broker that connection to ensure that both people want it. And if you need their services or they need your services and you hire them and work with them, that's great. We want each other to make money, but we don't want you just to cross sell and cross pitch. The reason why most business owners and entrepreneurs aren't honest and vulnerable is because they see it as a sign of weakness because they're seeing you as a customer. If I show weakness, you won't hire me. Well, the whole community is built on us vetting the opportunity to see if you can cross sell rather than you doing it. So you're probably not going to be coming into here and just selling to everybody. So you can be vulnerable, right? Like, the rules we put in place in the community allow you to be vulnerable because most people aren't vulnerable because they want to sell you something and they don't want to look weak. They want to look like the expert. They want to be the expert. They want to have all the knowledge. So that way, and subconsciously in the back of their mind, they can sell you something down the road and they don't look weak or like they're not a good fit. Well, we would remove that. Like, so when you come in here, the expectation isn't I'm coming in here to get a million leads and a bunch of business. The expectation is I'm coming in here because I belong here. I can provide value here, and I'm going to gain a ton of value, a ton of friendship, and a ton of opportunity. That opportunity can come in a million different ways, but we're protecting each other and protecting our members from just coming in and being, you said word vomit was a great, like earlier, word vomiting how I can help you and what I'm selling and you need to buy it and you need it now. No, we're not doing that. So when you subconsciously don't have in your head that everybody's a customer, it's going to allow you to be more honest and real and vulnerable, which in turn is going to allow you to get the help you need. It's going to allow you to grow at the rate that you wish and want. And it's going to reduce a ton of your stress. I mean, my worst days are when I am not asking for help. My worst days are when I'm trying to figure it out and I'm bottling up all the emotion and isolating. And the quote, like, it's lonely at the top, that's bullshit. It's only at the top because you created a life that's lonely. You weren't honest and real and vulnerable with people. Let's get to the top together. Let's not be lonely and let's enjoy the shit out of it.
Yay!
Mic drop, done.
So good. Oh my yes. Oh my god, yes. That is so good. Oh, there's a delay in my video, but whatever. All right, wrap it up there, man. I don't think you can beat that today.
Join us tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, 4 a.m. Pacific. We do this Monday through Friday. Rise and Energize. Check out impacteffectcommunity.com. Let me know if you want to book a meeting and chat about what we're building, what we're doing. If you see it as an opportunity, we'd love to have a conversation. So yeah, jump on the website, check it out. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you like, what's unique, what's different, what doesn't make sense. Someone called me yesterday, asked me what the momentum hour was. We had a great conversation. and they're looking forward to the one on Tuesday as well. So we want to be here to help you. We want to be a resource, and ultimately, we want you to gain energy so you can go do the thing at the highest capacity and create positive impact locally, nationally, globally, whatever your jam is, wherever your heart is. We just want to be a conduit to provide a resource you need when you need it. And we believe we're doing that today, and we'll continue to do that. So go get some energy gains, not energy drains, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Goodbye. You got this.